This is Mango the Goat, and it's the IIP. IIP stands for Involuntary Immigrants Party. A couple episodes ago, I did a show called Big Mama versus Abuela. I upset a couple Spanish people. I got those voicemails. Mingo, fuck you. Pinche cabrón, you no talk about mi abuela. I wasn't talking about your abuela. I was talking about a situation. I didn't expect y'all to understand a lot of the Spanish brothers and sisters. Some of y'all did. Some of y'all knew exactly where I was coming from. But my point was not to insult your abuela. My point was not saying Mexicans got roaches. That wasn't it. The point was, I don't care about your abuela. I don't give a fuck about your abuela. I could be all the peachy caprones and all that you want to call me. I only care about my big mama. But it was something I said in that show, and I wanted to dig into that some more, and that's the American dream. Because when I talked about those Mexican people, as I said, they were in pursuit of their American dream. And that made me think, like, what is the American dream? What is the American dream? The American dream is different to everybody. But the one thing it is to everybody is basically a nut.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
You work hard just to get that nut. And so that's the American dream. The American dream is, I want to earn some shit and get that nut. And that brings me on to like the topic of reparations again, right? Because a lot of white people get really a heightened sense of emotion when you talk about reparations. Shout outs to, again, the brother Marcel. He was the only person I ever know to run on that platform. Reparations ain't really for us. Like it is. It's a debt owed to us. But paying reparations helps white Americans more than it helps us, to be real with you. That's why I love his slogan, repair Black America to save America. Because in like one of the famous quotes from Tupac, but I'm going to switch it up. It's no way you can pay us back. But bitch, the plan is to show us that you understand. We are appreciated. And I mean that because, like I say, when you get into the inheritance and all that, you're basically looking at a certain people that's watching everybody around them fuck a little bit and get a whole lot of nut. Whole lot of just big nuts with a little bit of fuck.
I'm about to bust.
You come to realize when we've been fucking for 400 years and nobody care if we nut, that means we're getting fucked. Just that simple. Somebody's fucking and somebody's getting fucked. The one fucking is going to get the nut. That nut.
I'm about to bust.
And the one getting fucked going, I don't like this no more. I want to stop. You know, so when you're looking at the American dream, it makes me wonder, does the American dream only come when somebody's getting fucked? It's almost like Dr. Claude Anderson's book. It's Black Labor, White Wealth. The labor getting fucked. The wealth is the nut.
No romance without finance.
It's a great read if y'all ever get a chance to go check it out. Black Labor, White Wealth. I heard Ice-T say some shit. He said every relationship is a pimp and a whore relationship. Every one. It's always somebody that's a dominant in that fucking relationship. So again, back to the American dream. That comes with when you see people running across the border or, you know, just fighting to get in America. And then you see white people look at black people that's like, it's just America, you know, they got no heightened sense of pride. Not all black people, but a lot of black people don't have a heightened sense of pride. A lot of black people, they don't vote for what? You know, who gives a shit who's the president? And then that also will go into the education factor where it's like, I don't give a fuck. What difference do it matter? What grades I get? I'm still a nigga. And then, you know, we don't get no nuts here. I'm just trying to avoid being fucked. And that puts you on a stagnant trail. It puts you on where you know people that might live in the projects. They have They talk about goals. They talk about dreams, but they never jump for them because there's no point in moving for them because they don't believe it's going to ever happen. You know? So those are people that see that American dream as getting fucked, not fucking in nothing. So I had great homegirl of mine. She said something about, you know, she's Mexican and how her people come over and, you know, they struggle and this and that, but they come over for a totally different reason. Like they come over for a totally different reason than why we are here. And she really got the plight of, I guess, the Negro. She didn't say Negro, but she got the plight of what I say is Negro. And that shit was amazing because she listens to the show and I'm like, man, maybe, you know, some of my philosophy kind of showed her a bigger picture. Of course, she could never fully understand, but sometimes it's not even understanding you really need compassion to it. Compassion to the system. That's what bothered me when I did Ocean in the Bathtub, or Ocean versus the Bathtub, because like with that Asian hate thing, when they first was talking about Asian hate and they were trying to like put that shit on us. You know what I mean? They were trying to put that on like, it's black people attacking, but they were trying to do it like silently, you know? And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not saying no Asians never get attacked by black people, right? If you're in a black neighborhood, you probably got a higher chance of being attacked by black people. But my issue is with the Asian hate is the propaganda scheme behind it. A couple weeks ago, they had I'm chilling and I get all these alerts. Stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. Asian man abused on a train. Asian man jumped and attacked on a train. And I watched the video and these dudes, I'll fuck it. I laugh at it. They holding the dude with his hands behind his back. The other one just slapping him. They just counting at me. Hey, pop, hey, pop. And I'm just like, God damn, you know what these niggas doing? And then I see the real story. After seeing all of this, stop Asian hate, and looking at people talk about, but black people this, black people that from the Asian community. And then you see the real story. The real story was, allegedly he tried to rape a woman on the train. Allegedly he tried to rape a black woman on the train or sexually harass her or something. And them niggas grabbed him and beat the shit out of him. I'm sorry. They beat the shit out of him. They made him into a her, you know, but they beat the shit out of him embarrassingly. It wasn't even like a gang jump. It was a fucking embarrassment, slapping this motherfucker, counting it off. Everybody's saying, hey, you know, like shit was funny as fuck. But the thing was, after that comes out that he tried to rape a woman on the train, the story just kind of died down, like completely. That didn't turn into a story of black men protecting black women. Oh no, they ain't gonna push that. Black men protecting black women from being raped on the train by an Asian. Could you imagine reading that headline? It'd be a glorious day if that was, you know, what was written, you know, because they always try to pin black men and women against each other. And then you will see sisters like, there ain't no black men that protect women. That's not true at all. I know a lot of brothers that die for them sisters. And that granted, I know a lot of brothers that they won't. They knock down their sisters. And I know a lot of brothers that uplift their sisters. But for that story, that was a moment to show that it's a lot of niggas that don't play about they fucking sisters. They go, you know, and granted, I'm pretty sure some of them motherfuckers just wanted to beat the shit out this Chinese man for some fucked up order that they might have got from a Chinese person and they think all Chinese people look the same. True. So when they saw the opportunity just to whoop one of their asses, they just jumped on. And then after was like, hey, what he did? Or, you know, that's just how we go. I still think it's funny. But yeah, they was beating the shit out this motherfucker. And that story never came out after, when it wasn't until Tariq Nasheed said something about it that I saw something about it. And then I saw the people talking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, of course they ain't gonna finish this story. That shit, they just swept that under the rug, you know? And it's like the shooting with the kids in Texas. Like that's a fucked up scenario, right? But it happened to Spanish kids. It was a Mexican transgender shooter, whatever the fuck he was. Weird looking motherfucker. He riding around swinging dead cats in a bag and shit. The retarded ass motherfucker. But the issue I had, it was like you got two different shootings a week apart. You got a white supremacist shooting elderly black people, and then you got a retarded ass Mexican transgender shooting little kids. And I guess because it's the youth, and I guess people more so look at it like, well, the old people lived already, so let's put more attention on elementary school. I think both of them should have been treated equally. The only difference is, right, nobody called the Buffalo shit for what it was in the major media. Nobody said, so the Mexican transgender crazy motherfucker, he was literally crazy. Like I say, he ride around swinging cats in a bag and shit, right? He was fucked up in his head. Now the white dude in Buffalo, he's a white supremacist. His whole thing was killing niggas. So when it comes down to what we're talking about, the American dream, shit like this is what sometimes makes the nigga think, you know, is the American dream for us just to go a day without getting fucked, while everybody else is, I'm trying to go fucking catch a nut. Thanks for listening. I pray that you guys have blessings and many more blessings, and you get your nuts off. You get them all off. And I hope you don't have to work that hard to get them. You know, God bless you.
To reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one.
You hear that line? Line's for you. Don't make me laugh. We're one people. It's a myth created by Thomas Jefferson. Oh, now you can never go with Jefferson, huh? My friend, Jefferson's an American saint because he wrote the words, all men are created equal. Words he clearly didn't believe since he allowed his own children to live in slavery. He was a rich wine snob who was sick of paying taxes to the Brits. So yeah, he wrote some lovely words and aroused the rabble, and they went out and died for those words, while he sat back and drank his wine and fucked his slave girl. This guy wants to tell me we're living in a community. Don't make me laugh. I'm living in America, and in America you're on your own. America's not a country. It's just a business. Now fucking pay me.
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice. Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
or without choice.
Person who immigrates.
Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
involuntary.
Person who comes
Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice.
Definition 1. Immigrant. Definition 1. Unknown. Person who established. Unknown. Unknown. Established.
Trying to free your mind.
What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you gotta ask yourself, the white population of this country's gotta ask itself. North and South, because it's one country, and for a Negro, there is no difference between North and South. There's just, a difference in the way they castrate you.
Who taught you to hate yourself?
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice.
Immigrant. Definition 1. A person who immigrates. Definition 2. A plant or animal that becomes established where it was previously unknown.